Illinois Big Ten play is here. Illinois is back home, starting this off in Champaign. Currently, Illinois is at the top of this conference. Obviously, there are a lot of teams that have an undefeated record. By a lot, I mean four. We have Illinois, we have Indiana, we have Wisconsin, Northwestern. Indiana actually atop the conference at 2-0. Illinois can get up there and tie them with a win against Northwestern in Champaign on Tuesday. Terrence Shannon is not going to play in this game as far as we know. I probably shouldn't even say as far as we know. There's been no update whatsoever to make us think that he'll be available anytime soon, but there are rumblings that could happen at some point down the line. For now, this is the Illinois team that looked so good against Fairleigh Dickinson without Terrence Shannon against a Northwestern team that has been known to give people problems. Look no further than Northwestern knocking off Purdue at home on December 1st. This is now January. It's not December. And since that win over Purdue, Northwestern lost to Chicago State. I don't think they're feeling great about that. Do you think that Darius Bowie and Northwestern can give Illinois some problems in Champaign?
I do think that they can give them problems just because of the magnitude of the game, to be honest with you. In my recent memory, Illinois and Northwestern games just always had that, Chicago versus Chicago feel, guys going at it. I do think they can give them trouble. With that said, as I do like looking at the teams in more of a microscope and like a matchup per matchup thing, I really feel good about how this Illinois team can match up with Northwestern. Like I don't fear the Boo getting guys in pick and rolls and finding guys and exposing them and attacking them, because I think that Illinois is very versatile defensively, very switchable, 1 through 5. So that doesn't really scare me in that sense. And I don't think that Northwestern can do enough defensively to stop Illinois either. I just still think that Illinois has a lot of ability offensively, even without Terrence Shannon Jr. And they're a really good basketball team. And I think a lot of people might be looking to this game like, okay, where's the fall off kind of? This is the game that looks like what Illinois is going to be post whatever happens with Terrence Shannon Jr. And I still think that this is just a really good basketball team. And it's a team that I think Northwestern doesn't match up well against, to be honest with you. So I could see this being a pretty big Illinois win.
Yeah, I feel like was it the Colgate preview weeks ago? I came on here and said, like, really good point guard against Illinois. That's something you got to worry about. That's like my only concern here is like Boo going up against a non-point guard, and maybe Boo takes that personal. Maybe Boo does the Boo thing where he goes for 30 and propels a worse team to a win over a better team. He did that against Purdue. If Ty Rodgers guards Boo, I think Boo has some problems in this game.
I do too.
Like, which is crazy for me to say. I haven't praised Ty in that regard a lot, but like it's very true at this point. Like Ty is disruptive. He's big. He's strong. He can move his feet. Like I wouldn't want to see Ty Rodgers guarding me if I'm a 5'11" point guard. And I know Boo's taller than that on paper, but Boo's not the most physical guy. I don't know that Boo can shake Ty Rodgers in space, honestly. Like this
Yeah.
kind of screams like Illinois shuts down Boo and has a really, really big decisive victory to me.
Yeah, and like you look at it like this, going. I hate that we do this when Northwestern always becomes a Northwestern what they do against Purdue type situation, but like Purdue was the best team in the country and they beat them and they had a formula to it. They were they're basically doing it so Boo had one-on-one matchups with whoever on the Purdue team they wanted to expose. Like, who is that on Illinois? Do they want to get him in pick and rolls and try to go at Marcus Damask? Like, I think that Damask can hang with Boo Booey. Like, I'm not saying he's going to shut him down, but like, if that's the weak link, then, it's just when you look at this Illinois team, they're just straight like measurable switchability, defensive like acumen. It's a scary looking team. Like the point guard 6'5", the wing 6'6". You got Quincy Guerriero 6'8", Coleman 6'10", and Luke Goody 6'7", still to be determined in the new year. Like, it's just a very tall, long, good defensive team. And I think that it's going to give Boo and Northwestern trouble.
Yeah. I think you're right. I was looking back through it. Northwestern did have success against Illinois last year, for the record.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing that makes me feel super notable of like Northwestern has a chance in this one, but they beat Illinois by 13 at home. They lost to Illinois by just 4 in Champaign. Now, much different game. Terrence Shannon didn't even start that game. He had 26 points off the bench. Matthew Meyer led the team in shot attempts that game outside of Shannon. RJ Melendez started and played 17 minutes. Jaden Epps started and played 4. Like, it's a totally different team. I think Boo probably thinks he's the best player on the floor. That has to mean something, right? Like if
Oh, no,
anytime Boo
definitely.
steps on the court and is like, I'm definitely that dude in this game, that's scary.
I'm sorry. I just got very upset because you said that there was games last year where Matthew Meyer was out shooting Terrence Shannon Jr. That is malpractice.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not
That's
good.
not good. That's not good. But I will
Uh,
agree with you. Boo is going to be the best player on the floor. I think if you're just like picking players, like we're throwing guys out in the pool, we're picking up for 5-on-5. Boo's probably going to be the first pick. With that said, does that mean much if they're not if Boo is being bothered by the length? And also, once again, back to the Purdue Northwestern thing. I believe Langboard is the last name.
mhm.
Had a great game. Ty Berry had a great game. Barnheiser had a great, like everyone played extremely well that game. On top of Budarius being who he is, so do they get that type of contribution? I don't know because I don't think that when you match them up against Illinois, they'll be able to do the same thing they did against Purdue.
I'd like to run through Boo's entire career against Illinois, if you don't mind.
How many games? Can I guess how many games it is?
I think it's 7 because
Really?
he did not play one of Illinois' games his freshman year,
Huh.
or
Wow.
one of
Okay,
the
that's
games against Illinois' freshman year.
that's also malpractice, but move on.
His freshman year, Boo Buie, played 33 minutes against Illinois at home. He had 11 points on 4 for 12 from the field in 33 minutes in a loss. Okay. Sophomore year, at home, Northwestern loses to Illinois by 25 points. Boo has 0 points in 15 minutes. Later that season, Northwestern at Illinois, Boo Buie has 9 points in 15 minutes in a 7-point loss. To his junior season, where we start in Evanston, where Northwestern loses by 3 points to Illinois. Boo Buie has 9 points in 30 minutes. We go to Champaign a month later. Boo Buie has 8 points in 31 minutes in a 7-point loss in Champaign. To last year, in Northwestern's win over Illinois, Boo 15 points on 2 for 13, 2 for 13 from the field for Boo in that game. And then he had one game where he went nuclear in Champaign. Boo gave them 35 points in 35 minutes in the loss. So I could be wrong, but I think if you added Boo's first 6 games up against Illinois, he totaled less points than he had in the last game against Illinois. I would say it's a history of failure. It's a history of a frustrating matchup against a Brad Underwood defense. But then he gave him 35 last game. What do you think happens to Boo in this game?
Oh, I mean, if I got to side with something, I'm always going to side with Budarius going off. He always has. If you put it on, like you got to pick a side every time, and this might be like in the sleepers betting commandments that we have. Like if you get certain team, certain player at plus money, you take it. If you get the opportunity to bet on Budarius to go off, you bet on it because there's a good chance he does. And I understand that you just read me the game logs. Game logs don't matter when you're playing in Budarius. This is Boo City. This is Boo's state, by the way. Let's not get that twisted. I love the Illini. I love Illinois. As long as Budarius puts on a uniform in that state, it's his state. It's his city. He's got sections. He's special. Let that be known.
You're not wrong. Okay, does that mean it's time for prediction time? Do we want to talk about anything else on the Illinois side first? Like we did the whole how are they going to be without him, and then we did the breakdown of how good they are without TSJ against Fairleigh Dickinson. Um, any thoughts of like emotional letdown? I mean, you talked about a look ahead spot for Purdue. Illinois goes to Mackey on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably feeling like you're unbeatable right now. You're probably feeling as good as you felt all season. You're feeling confident. Everybody's like, oh, I got a big role now. Here we go. maybe Fairleigh Dickinson's defense was actually just so bad, everything was wide open. Maybe you show up against a team that actually wants to compete and things look a little harder and guys start to look around a little bit of like, where's Terrence? Do you think that that could happen in this game?
I think it could happen, and I think that looking at this game, I think it'll tell a lot about what is going to happen at Mackey. I think. I think this game will determine a lot on like the makeup or where this team is at moving forward. At least moving forward this week. Because if they come out and have a letdown against Northwestern, I think would be a letdown to lose to Northwestern. I think they go to Mackey and they get ran out of the gym. If they win this game, I feel a lot better about their chances of going into Mackey and getting the win.
Okay. I could see that. It leads us to prediction time. Before we get to prediction time, I just want to say this. Northwestern has the best player in this game to me. Illinois has the next best 4 players. Illinois has 6 of the next best 7 players. It's going to take a stellar superstar Boo Buie performance, which he is capable of. But I think even if Boo gives you the 35, probably looks like it did last year in Champaign, where he gave you 35 and a 4-point loss. They're going to need that just to hang in this game with Illinois, is my personal opinion. And even if they are looking ahead, I think they are the much, much deeper, much more talented side, much bigger at every position. They should have their way with Northwestern in this game. So that's my prediction. KenPom has Illinois by 10. I'll take Illinois to cover that. I think this is like a 15 to 20 point Illinois win.
Yeah, and on top of that, Dane game.
What does the Dane game look like? Like 12 points in 11 minutes?
No, I mean, I don't know. I love Brad. The only thing I question of him is that you throw that monster out there every game, and every minute he's on the floor, he gets you a bucket and a rebound per minute. So you play him 25, you're probably getting 20 points and 11 rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, Dane has played more than 20 minutes twice this season. He had 16 points in both those games on 7 for 10 and 8 for 10 from the floor.
Deuce special, man. He's really special.
Last game in 16 minutes, he had 19 points on 9 for 10 from the floor.
Deuce is special, man. Dang game.
Good.
No,
Super
but
good.
I do think that Illinois wins this game fairly easy. Like, I think it's a double-digit win.
Okay. Ooh, you know what? Actually, excuse me. Speaking of champagne, my wife is here to deliver a refill, and I'm sorry, champagne. I haven't been super high on this glass of champagne. Let me chug this glass of champagne so that my wife can pour me a refill.
Oh.
Wife, on camera. Thank you. It's a great angle, hon.
That actually is. That's a nice bottle. I can tell.
Should we show the bottle? She's shushing me again. I don't know what's up with that. How many bottles of these, or how many glasses of this have you had upstairs? I see this. Oh, she's chugging from the bottle. Let's take a look at this. This is a little Veuve Clicquot.
Wait, G, are you not a champagne aficionado?
Of course I'm a champagne aficionado.
Okay. Veuve is like, that's the one.
Why do I have this? Go watch the Purdue preview. Find that. This is the one cart?
Yeah, no, like Veuve is the bottom.
Excuse me. It's pronounced a Veuve Clicquot.
No, it's Veuve.
It's a Veuve Clicquot.
It's Veuve.
It's Veuve.
We know that if you took French in high school like me.
It's a Veuve Clicquot. It's like, this is like Matthew Mayer versus Matthew Meyer. You know, we're all saying the same thing.
I mean, I'm just really rattled that Mal's really shouting out that she took French at Portage Central. I know that was easy. Did I get her high school right?
You did. Also, I feel like Illinois has to have had at least one Portage Central player come through. Northwestern's running back is a Portage Central alum.
Really?
Yeah.
Is his name Henry?
No, actually, Portage Northern alum. Sorry, got the rival mixed up.
There you go.
Quincy Guerrier.
Quincy Guerrier.
Quincy.
Ty Roger. Marcus Domasque.
I'm going to stop before I make a joke I shouldn't.
Justin Harmon.
Good luck, Illinois. We'll be here to recap it all.